Welcome to Happy Hour. Fall is here. It's September. And I don't know about you, but when I think about fall, I start thinking less about garden parties and barbecues and spritzes and gin and tonics and stuff, and more like a bourbon on the rocks next to a fire. Some sort of bourbon. I think about bourbon in the fall. There's something about like the leaves changing. Maybe it's the color of the spirit. Whatever it is, I think of bourbon in the same way that like people get excited about sweater weather. You know, same kind. It's like a sweater for your insides, bourbon. So this month we're going to make a bunch of bourbon-based cocktails for you to enjoy in this beautiful fall weather. In my opinion, the best time of year to be in the state of Maine, or mostly anywhere. Fall, underrated. If you're from not here and you're watching this, fall up here is terrible. You shouldn't. Don't come up here. It's really cold, insufferable. Barely survivable. But if you're from here, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so this week we're going to make a maple old fashioned. In a tumbler with some ice in it, please add the following: 2 ounces of bourbon. And I'm going to use 4 Roses small batch. If you want to get super fancy, you could use the 4 Roses single barrel, which is also very, very good. We're going to use 1 ounce of maple syrup. Real. And then, oops. And then lastly, 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give that a nice stir. Normally with an old fashioned, you don't have to go crazy stirring. You just want to stir it till cold. But with this, we have the maple syrup, which wouldn't be, you know, it's going to coagulate. Is that the right word? It'll be thicker when it's cold. So you want to make sure it's mixed up so you don't just get like having all the maple syrup just sink to the bottom of the drink. And then we will strain that into, that's way too big a glass. I like this glass. Oh my God, it looks so good. And we're going to garnish that with some orange. Have a look-see. Look at that color. I mean, bourbon already is-ish this color, but just adding the maple syrup. Let's have a sip. It's so awesome. As I've said a zillion times on this show, I'm not a sweet drink guy. That said, I'll make an exception for this little fella right here. Obviously the maple syrup is going to bring a great deal of sweetness. So this is almost more like a dessert cocktail. Now you could add like a little lemon juice to this, and that would make it, give it a little tartness. It's getting away from being an old fashioned, but I would say for one, like after dinner drink, relaxing by the fire, this is really nice. It is sweet, but it's also delicious because maple syrup in the bourbon, in the bitters. It's got all the things. This has been Happy Hour, brought to you by Maine Spirits. You can learn more about this drink and many other drinks at mainspirits.com. You can download their app for your smartphone. That's a smart move. Why? What to buy, where to buy it, and what to do with it once you get it. You can also follow them on Instagram at Maine_spirits. But as always, I implore you to drink deliciously and responsibly.